Game time, Paul.
Hey, you. What's going on?
Apparently nightmares in my house because my kid decided to crawl into our bed at about 2 a.m., which is great if you like being kicked in the spleen all night.
Huh. On kind of a random note, I had mentioned that one awesome night of sleep that I had
Mm-hmm.
gotten since I got that mattress. I had that night again last night. So
Wow.
I've had two of those. And actually, looking at the little chart that Fitbit gives you where they measure,
Mm-hmm.
movement and disruptions and whatnot, last night was even better than the other night.
So you are either approaching an incoming coma or the bed is actually making a difference.
Yep. This is like peak Paul as far as like awareness and
Wow.
awakeness. Yeah.
Is your Call of Duty KD ratio going up?
Let's see. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that too. As kind of another random
Mm-hmm.
aside, I decided that what I was going to do was play this game on PlayStation until I've prestiged. You may recall from, I don't know, back in November, I was moaning about how my first prestige on the Xbox was like a negative. No, yeah, it was a negative KDR. It was right around 1.9 something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at about 1.5.
Wow.
Given
But
the weirdness of the controller and a lot of the unbelievable negativity and racism you get on the PlayStation Network, that's pretty good.
you should put that on your resume.
Battling negativity and racism since 2001.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like battling your wallet, you can pre-order this guy now, starting at $399. Although I don't think, in good faith, I can recommend the $399 model.
Right.
That
Yeah.
eMMC storage. My kid had nightmares, but I also did too about that.
I the thing I just wrote, you would ask me to say something so you could check the volume level before we
Mm-hmm.
started recording the show. And what I was reading to you was the end of an editorial I just wrote, which is about this very topic, which is you've seen this because you've published a bunch of stuff about it. You're out on Twitter and you can see how much hate there is in the world. And there's a real kind of partisan divide on this stuff. You can't release something
Yeah.
like this without all the back and forth. It's an iPad killer. It's not an iPad killer. I would never buy this thing. I have been dying for Microsoft to make this device.
Mm-hmm.
People are like really just, they kind of line up in these really predictable
Sure.
ways, which is what I might actually call this thing as predictable. But, I I wish people in general would kind of expand their worldview a little bit. For example, I know in my case that I could never use this device. I don't want to own this. I don't need it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to use it. Doesn't mean I can't review it and do a good job of reviewing it. Doesn't mean I can't put myself outside of my own precious little needs, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
It not being appropriate for me doesn't mean I don't understand why it might be appropriate for others. And there's also the kind of I don't know, platform battle thing that we can't seem to get past. This thing competes with the iPad or it doesn't. This thing competes with Chromebooks or it doesn't.
Right.
This thing competes with other Windows PCs or it doesn't. I which is the bit I just read you. I don't think this thing targets any one market, and I don't think it targets any one device.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a Chromebook competitor than an iPad competitor, whatever. But it sits in kind of a continuum of, oh boy, my cat's going at it again. Yep, that's enough of that. Of device types, and I just see it as being additive. I think Microsoft saw an opportunity for it to broaden the appeal of its Surface lineup, and they have a bigger lineup now. They can bring prices down for people who can never afford Surface devices, and I think that's smart. But I think the real point is there are
Mm-hmm.
PC makers who have economics of scale that Microsoft doesn't have. And if Microsoft can sell this thing for $400 or $550 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why Dell or HP or Lenovo or whoever can't make an equivalent quality device for less money. And I think
Yeah.
that's the point. That's what Microsoft does with Surface.
Mm-hmm. Deep insight by Paul Thurrott.
The other thing, just as a reminder,
Yeah.
the big, not to you, I mean, to the audience.
Yep, I'm
but
just going to nod off.
just as a reminder, no, just real quick. I mean, there's a lot of kind of back and forth around Microsoft and their ability to create new markets or new categories, whatever. Microsoft did do this with Surface Pro, and I don't think people understand on a day-to-day basis how profound that is. Devices like iPad Pro, which is made by Apple, and the Chromebook Pixel, which is made by Google, would not exist if Microsoft hadn't done Surface Pro. Would not exist. Those things are literal Surface Pro ripoffs. They have done it. So is this the same kind of thing? No, I don't think so. But they're trying to do the same thing at a lower price point, and I think that's laudable.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
good talk, buddy.
Let's just end it there. Two other quick little things here.
Yes.
Sonos speakers, which I have about 1,200 of them in my house, now support AirPlay 2, if that is your thing. Although
that's not my thing.
Yeah.
Why don't they support Chromecast? That's my thing.
Yeah. I'm sure. I know there's going to be a lot of people who love this. For me, it doesn't really, I don't think, changes anything.
Right.
But
right. Well, you use an iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know what you use. What do you use for music service?
Spotify.
God, I swear to God. I have to show you what this cat just did because she is mental. See, oh, you can't tell from this angle. The lamp.
For those getting seasick at home.
I know. I'm sorry. See the lamp? It's not. It's not on the table. It's at an angle. You are an idiot. Oh, brother. Okay. Sorry. This is what I deal with. And now this will never be right again.
Feel bad?
There are no words. Okay, let me fix the lamp, which I don't even know how that's being held up. I think it's just the power cord. Like it would have slammed down onto the table.
Sorry. I can tell you one thing for sure. AirPlay 2 is not going to fix that problem.
Oh, yes. The music service. What do you use?
Spotify.
Spotify. I mean, I suppose if you trigger music playback from your... My thing froze. There it goes. If you trigger music playback from your iPhone, AirPlay 2 is probably one of the ways you could do that, I guess.
The thing is Spotify already can cast directly to an individual speaker through Sonos, so it's not solving that. I guess the real benefit is if you have multiple AirPlay 2 non-Sonos speakers, it's going to make it,
It will make it part of a cohesive...
Yep. I think that's kind of the benefit.
I mean, name a single AirPlay 2 compatible speaker of any note. I guess Sonos. But like I have a cheap Sonos knockoff up in my bathroom, and I use that with Chromecast. But it supports different protocols, and one of them is AirPlay 2, and it's got some. It's like a Riva or some crazy name, But it's a piece of junk. I mean, I'm not aware of aside from that, the only AirPlay 2 compatible device I have in my entire house is an Apple TV.
Be interesting if they could cast the audio from the AirPlay 2 or from the Apple
to
TV
speakers
to
while
the
putting
speakers.
video. Yeah, I don't know.
That would be
nice.
real interesting for me, actually.
Yeah, when I do Chromecast from video to a speaker, what I want to happen is for the video to stay on the phone in my case, and the audio to go to the speaker.
Right.
It doesn't do it. It just puts the audio on the speaker and turns off the video.
Fantastic.
Okay. You need to go.
Yeah,
Say
the other
everybody.
things that are going on in the world besides cats are Rocket League is now on Xbox Game Pass, which is a pretty big deal because Rocket League is a huge game and a lot of people love it. I played it for quite a while, and if you haven't played it and you're a Game Pass subscriber, you can now do that for it's free, but it's not free. I mean, it's $10 a month.
My son plays Rocket League on Steam, which I know because I get Steam pop-ups that say Mark is now playing Rocket League. So I know he's still or has been doing it at least fairly recently, and that, like you said, it was huge for him and his friends. Like, it might be the only reason I even know about this game. Like, he played this thing incessantly.
Yep. And the only other thing for today, which is kind of a random, very off-topic thing, but this is a question for the listeners, if you will. Currently, I use American Express credit monitoring services to make sure that my credit doesn't get cracked and hacked and whatever. I've got like a million free ones out there. When I started this service, I want to say 4 years ago. It was $4.99 a month.
Oh, no.
Whoa! It's worse than that. What do you think it was this month, Paul? And this is why I'm asking this question.
I was free because there are so many free options.
Right. It was $16.99, and I'm like, nope. This is,
All right,
this is dumb.
I could give you some advice here. I use something called Credit Sesame.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. I've heard of Credit
free.
Karma being free as well, and I'm just trying to figure out what people use that is better than paying American Express that much money, because it's not worth it.
Do not pay for that. So
No, I already canceled it. So
all
I
right,
need
so
something.
I bet other people will have some other options. I know that some credit cards have credit monitoring like this for free with them. I bet Chase offers this,
Yep.
whatever. In fact, I think American Express might offer this, although most of their cards have an annual fee. They must have, they have that blue card that has no annual fee, I bet. But I do use Credit Sesame, for whatever that's worth.
Well, I will look into that one. I need something. I'm not going to pay them anymore.
No, that's crazy.
So, yep. Looking for suggestions. You got anything else for today, Paul? Kind of a quick show, but because there's not a whole lot going on after
Let's see.
yesterday's.
Aside from my cats and my earlier rant, no, not. I guess not. It's kind of a slow day compared to yesterday.
Yeah, it is. Tomorrow we'll pick it up a little bit, I think. But
yeah.
there we go.
Oh, is there another Surface device coming?
Yeah, the Surface server. They're just going to ship a rack-mounted magnesium
They're already shipping
server.
Surface Go 2 because you all complain so much, you losers.
My wife asked if they were coming out with the Surface Bee Gees to keep the 80s bands alive.
Surface Wham. This is the one where they earned the exclamation point.
All right, folks, and that wraps it up for today, and we'll catch you right back here next time on Worst Ring Daily.